So when we have units raised to a power, we need to be careful when we're doing unit conversions, because the conversion factor also needs to be raised to that same power. Let's just look at an example. 1 foot, no, not 1 foot, 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. Well, what if I'm buying manure for the garden and it's sold by the cubic yard, right? But I need to, I have my garden, I know what volume I need in cubic feet. Well, if I want cubic yards to cubic feet, I can't just say that 3 cubic feet is equal to 1 cubic yard, right? Because here's this volume, and we've got along this side, this distance here is 1 yard, which equals 3 feet. And this is a yard, and this is a yard. So if I calculate the volume of this block in yards, it's 1 yard times 1 yard times 1 yard, which equals 1 cubic yard, right? But if I do it in feet, each side is 3 feet long. 3 feet times 3 feet times 3 feet equals what? 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. 27 cubic feet. Very different than 3. 27 is 3 to the third power. So I have to cube the whole thing. Now, this one, when I cube yard, I get cubic yard, and 1 raised to the third power is still 1. Feet cubed is feet cubed, but 3 to the third power is 27. Okay, so you got to watch out for that. An automobile engine has a displacement of 289.7 cubic inches. What is its displacement in cubic centimeters? So this has got more words in it. Do we need to know that we're talking about an automobile engine? No, we don't. That's the story, right? Like, we're not interested in the story. Yeah, but there's always story involved. Here's our number. That's what we're going to be starting with, because there's only one number. Sometimes, like that last problem, there's more than one number. Here we've got one number. And what are we trying to find? Cubic centimeters. There's usually a question in there somewhere. Either a command, find this, or calculate this, or a question, what is? So we're going from cubic inches to cubic centimeters. We're given cubic inches, we're trying to find cubic centimeters. Now, in terms of figuring out conversion factors, just ignore the power at the beginning. Ignore that. It's not there. It's inches and centimeters. Do we know a relationship between inches and centimeters? Yeah. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. If we know the relationship between the unit without the power, we can figure out the one with the power. So we're going to start here, 289.7 cubic inches. And we have one arrow, cubic inches to cubic centimeters. Oops, accidentally pulled something down there. Cubic centimeters. So there's our path. Cubic inches to cubic centimeters. Cubic inches to cubic centimeters. I take this number, that's not a number. I take this unit, and I put it in the bottom and divide by it because I want it to go away. Now this is where we need to be careful. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, but 1 cubic inch is not 2.54 cubic inches. We have to cube the number. So you might want to do that off on the side somewhere. So I've got 1 inch, that side cubed, and I've got 2.54 centimeters cubed. That's going to be 1 cubic inch equal to 2.54 cubed cubic centimeters. I'm going to pull out my real calculator now. Some of you, if you're better with math, you can stick it in the equation like that and you know how to figure it out on your calculator and you're good. But you don't need my help as much. So let's do this and write it down. And I'm going to cube this. And everybody's calculator is different. And so you're going to have to figure that out. I can help you with it. 16.387064 cubic centimeters. Yeah, that went off the screen. A little bit. Do I have to write down all those digits? No. If you're writing down an intermediate value like this, though, I would recommend that you keep at least 2 significant figures more than you're going to need. Look at this number that we're starting with. How many sig figs does it have? It's got 4. This relationship is exact, but if I round this off to 16, it's not going to be exact anymore, and that's going to limit my answer, the sig figs. So my answer is going to have 4 significant figures. I definitely don't want to go fewer than 4. We should keep at least 2 extras to avoid rounding problems, or use the whole thing. It's better to have too many significant figures than not enough. Because if you have too many, you can always fix that later by rounding it. If you round things off too far, then the only way you can get them back is by doing the whole thing over again, and nobody wants to do that. So I'm just going to be on the safe side, and I'm going to write the whole thing in there. 16.387064. That number is still sitting in my calculator because I haven't done anything else. So it's actually pretty easy to use that. I'm just going to multiply by 289.7 now. Times 289.7. And this is going to give me 4747.332441 cubic centimeters. We already decided that should have 4 significant figures. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4,747 cubic centimeters. Is that a reasonable answer? Well, we've got this cubic inches. And which is bigger, inches or centimeters? Inches are bigger. So this is the big unit, and that's got the small number. Here's the small unit and the big number. So we probably did it right. Any questions? I think we did enough of those.